Visionaries. We're live, going live before the new year ends. Hold on, screening my mic real quick. Hopefully, you guys will join in pretty soon. My mic over here. So, what you do when you go live? What's good, Visionaries? Your boy Mike Larry here. Just chipping in. I won't stay on too long, but I'll make maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, not too long. I know you guys out celebrating, trying to bring in the new. Oh, there you go. Got kicked out. What I was saying was, hope you guys bringing in the new year the right way. And hopefully 2025 is a positive and productive year for everyone. Basically, just getting on here, wanted to chop it up a little bit of sports. Jimmy Butler recently was at Pompano's Ely High School. I think he was doing like a little, I'm about to say summer, like a little camp or something for the kids. He was at Ely High School. My brother-in-law works at Ely. He sent me some pictures of out there. Jimmy was out there with the kids in the gym, out by the bus loop, out there with them. Yeah, but that's the first thing I'm gonna talk about is the Jimmy Butler saga in Miami. I think it's time to let Jimmy walk. People say, nah, man, you letting Jimmy walk, but I think the issue is that Jimmy wants to win a championship now, has to win the championship now. Jimmy is not that, he's 35, getting up there. He ain't getting young. So if you want to trade Jimmy, you need to trade Jimmy now to get some good pieces for Jimmy Butler. Who to trade him for? I heard rumors of Warriors is in the trade mix. You got the Kings. Kings in the trade mix, but they're not a playoff team. I think Jimmy wants to go to a team that's a contender. So Warriors will probably be on the top of that list. I heard the Lakers, rumblings of Lakers. That could be it. It could be the top of the list. Mavericks, but not too much of the Mavericks, but mostly I heard Warriors. What you can get out of the Warriors trade is probably getting Andrew Wiggins, a young piece, still young, still in his prime. Accommodate with Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. If you trade him, they heard about Phoenix was also little rumblings about that, trading Jimmy Butler for Bradley Beal. I wouldn't like that trade. I don't think that trade would be, hot commodity for the Heat, or it would be a hot commodity for the Suns, because they get a good defensive player in Jimmy Butler, who still is a dog. You know what I'm saying? So shout outs to Jimmy. But yeah, who are you going to trade him for? You have Pat Riley coming out saying that, oh, Jimmy, we're not trading Jimmy. Listen, that Jimmy's not going nowhere. Come on, Pat. Who you fooling? Pat Riley, you're not fooling nobody. Jimmy is going to get traded. You're trying not to have all the press, all the media on you guys. that Jimmy's in trade talks, which he is, but you ain't got to come out and lie about it. You know what I'm saying? So, Jimmy, to me, I think need a playoff team. Yes. I think should trade it to a playoff team. Also, Pat, I think to me, my opinion, Pat Riley needs to step down as president because I think his time as president has passed him. He's up in the age of 80 years old. Yes, he's still a good executive, but for the past couple of years, 4 or 5 years, he hasn't brung a top superstar to help Jimmy. Yes, the team went to the finals 2 years out of the 4 years since the COVID time they went, but they haven't brung anybody there. You know what I'm saying? So no help for Jimmy. You brought Terry Rozier last year, but I don't see as a big. That's not a big add-on to me. They don't want to pay Jimmy, so why? I would say trade him. Like, time to get rid of him. Start. You got two key players that you can build around with Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo. You know what I'm saying? You got Jaquez. I think it's Jaquez. JJ, we call him Double J, Jamie. You got a good young piece of him. You can use him as trade bait. You got Terry Rozier that you also can use as trade value as well to trade him away. So, you know what I'm saying? So, it's a lot you can think about. Also want to talk about stuff that been going down, early in the year 2024. Shout out to the Florida Panthers. I know we haven't been giving them the praise that they deserve. First championship in franchise history. Getting them a Stanley Cup finally in their franchise's 30 some year history. Shout outs to them. Shout out to just the whole team. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the fans that didn't give up on the team. We thought the team was gonna get moved to freaking Montreal or at first Phoenix. There was talks of disbanding the Florida Panthers. So still shout outs to them. Hope they keep it up. I hope this ain't a one and done thing. You know what I'm saying? Keep up the winning ways. Stay playoff contention. And in my 30s, I was able to see the Marlins win a championship, the Heat win a championship, Panthers finally win a championship, Hurricanes win a national title. Now I need my Dolphins to win one. Once they win one, that's the trifecta. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but shout outs to them. What's another thing? Oh, the first big piece that got traded was, I forgot to talk about it. D'Angelo Russell getting traded back to the Brooklyn Nets. Like, first Brooklyn trade you. Hey, yeah, I think they traded. No. Was he with Brooklyn? Yeah, okay. I think they traded him to Brooklyn. Was he with the Timberwolves? I forgot what they traded with. I don't know if he went back. Like, got traded to Brooklyn and then go back to the Lakers and then go back to Brooklyn. But either or, he's back with Brooklyn Nets. You can see it was written on the wall. They wanted to trade Russell. They wanted to trade him last year, but he started getting high. Lakers was winning a couple of games towards the end of the season, so they kept him. Now they traded him. Basically traded him to Brooklyn, basically for nobodies. So I don't know what the Lakers are doing, with their trade value or what they're doing, what they're trying to build. LeBron's on this last hoorah. So, You know what I'm saying? Then Anthony Davis is getting up there in age as well. So you can't think that, okay, I'm gonna have LeBron for one more year. Let's it's like putting a band-aid on a big wound that's gonna eventually burst open. So hopefully they get somebody, you know, hopefully Lakers do something. You know, I know LeBron wants to win one more championship. Of course he does. You know what I'm saying? He wants to win one more. But not with that roster. Not with that roster. They were yo, what's good? What's good? Boy, they were, welcome. They was in contention to get Jimmy Butler as well. I don't know if they still are, but not with that roster. They ain't winning nothing. You're basically your third option on the team, Russell. So them in the next couple of years being championship contenders, no. I don't see it happening. Like I said before, I think just it's like they're gluing stuff together and things gonna work. It ain't working. Oh yeah, I did hear about that too. LeBron talking about playing 5 to 7 more years. Man, now would it be funny if he's still playing a high level at close to 50 years old, averaging 26? That'll be funny. That would be funny right now. But 5 to 7 more years, LeBron. Come on, LeBron. Don't do it to you. Don't do it to yourself, LeBron. Don't do it to yourself, Brian. Don't do it. Don't do it. But yeah, Lakers need a lot to do. Oh yeah, of course. If he plays 5 more years, which is not happening, but if he does play 5 more years, and he's still at a dominant force and still able to score and still averaging, he ain't even got to average 20. If he averaged like 17, 18 points a game, that's still a win for him. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to LeBron. You know, I think he's about to turn 40 next month. I think he's about to turn 40 sometime next year. Forgot what month. But kudos to LeBron though. Still playing at a high force, blocking shots, getting to the basket at his own will. So, man, yeah. But what else I gonna talk about? I got NFL. A lot of surprising teams at the top. Well, we already know who the other teams that we know that's at the top: Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Eagles. Well, Vikings been up there when they had Kirk Cousins still at the top. Lions, surprisingly, they're battling to be the number 1 seed in the NFC. I want that city to win a championship. If my Dolphins can't win one, I'm rooting for the Lions. The Lions, man, I know went through a lot of stuff. Man, Eagles winning without Hurts. Man, they gonna get hurt in the playoffs. They gonna need Jalen Hurts. They ain't winning no Super Bowl with Kenny Pickett. No. Play for one playoff game. Yeah, he gonna do the Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow 1 playoff win. Kenny Pickett I don't see him carrying that team. But yeah, Lions, a surprise team. Dan Campbell has did a great job with that team, building them from the ground up. St. Brown doing a good job. You got Jared Goff. Like, we thought he was written off. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing the team back. And them boys even signed brought back Teddy Bridgewater. You know, he won a championship for his Alma in high school, his high school team. And then now he get to go back to Lions sign him off free agency. That's crazy. Just imagine He helped this high school win a championship, and then let's say he go back to the Lions and win the Super Bowl. That's like the perfect story right there. Right there. I don't even want to play them all. Just hey, won me a Super Bowl, went back to my high school, won them a championship. Yeah, yeah, they signed him because he was on was it First Take? I think it was he was on First Take, and he was talking about how do he had the itch for the NFL, and that's when and then all of a sudden Lions hired they signed him. Like signed him out of the blue. Like as soon as he said he want to come back, they signed him. They signed him like this. Like that's crazy. Like, but he played with the Lions last year though, and I think he stepped down to coach's high school, which he said he's still gonna be coaching them because their season don't start until like February or something like that. Which, you know, NFL will be over by then. Super Bowl will be over by then. But shout out to Teddy Bridgewater. You know, he making a comeback. Who else? Only team I can see that I think the Chiefs. Chiefs still is the team to beat though. Patrick Mahomes is turning into Tom Brady in front of our eyes. This man get every call. This man, the refs is like, it's like he got the refs on his payroll or something. This man gets every call. This man is like like you can see it. You can see the Tom Brady in the making of him. Like that's crazy. He's like the next. I ain't gonna say what. The next making of Tom Brady. Will he get to the 7 championships? He could. He's still in his prime career. He ain't even, I think, like 20 some years old. I think he's 20 something. I think Deshaun Watson's still in his 20s, like 28 and 29. Still playing at high pace. People thought, oh, he lost Tyreek. It don't matter. Yeah, he still got Kelsey, but his receivers are like, to me, average. If you put that receiving core with another quarterback, I don't see them winning games like that. What else team I like? The Bills. I like Buffalo. Well, I'm a Dolphins fan. I gotta say I like them. I don't like them. Who else? I want to see Lamar Jackson win one. If he can get over the hump. And I feel like just every year there's that one team that we like, dang, they should have won. If you look at basketball, football, baseball, yeah, Buffalo been a good team. Like, yeah, they another one. They can't get over the hump. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I think football is totally different. Like, look at the Cincinnati Bengals. Went to the Super Bowl one year, and they're struggling to get back in the playoffs. So it's like your window of opportunity is closing in. Yeah, your window of opportunity is like closing in. So your window doesn't stay open like NBA, where you'd be like, okay, this team is dominant. They've been dominant for the past 3, 5, 6 seasons, 7 seasons. Like, look at the Warriors, still in that top tier. They've been doing this since what? Early 2010s, basically. 2013, 2015, 2016, still dominant. You know, they had like 1 or 2 off years, but when the NFL, it's like your window is short. And then most teams that they don't really like, you could say it's rare that most teams stay on top a long time. Like Tom Brady with the Patriots. We're seeing it right now with Patrick Mahomes in them on top. Like for example, look at the Cowboys. Year before, they was in the playoffs, battling against San Fran, the Eagles, to go to the Super Bowl. Look at San Fran, same thing. Last year was a top team, and look at them now, 6-8 out of the playoffs. So sports is like it's crazy. Like football is like really crazy. Your window of opportunity can end like snap of your fingers. Cincinnati, same thing. Went to the Super Bowl and they struggling to get into the playoffs. So it's crazy. Used to get yeah, Lamar need to get one for real. And he got you right. And he got Derrick Henry too. Um they that's a team that I really want to see Lamar win a championship and say, hey, I won one for my hometown. Like they can't say nothing to me about it. Um Buffalo, same way, Josh Allen. Um you got the Chargers, Justin Herbert. He's a good player as well. So NFL, boy, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Lions. Like they just now getting on back to on being a good team. So they're in the mix. Green Bay, losing Aaron Rodgers, coming back to be a good team. Even players have that downsize. Look at Aaron Rodgers. They thought Jets thought, oh, we got Aaron Rodgers. We going to the Super Bowl. Look at them. They got 3 wins. 3. And they got us a good team. They can't get over the hump. So NFL is crazy. But switching over to basketball, I can't wait to playoffs start. Playoffs meaning well, not playoffs. Yeah, that's when you can say the season really starts. When the playoffs start, when they get into like the final stages of the regular season, and you get to really figure out, all right, who is the good teams, going at it. Yeah. Oh yeah, OKC, they still a top. They still a top team. Um, Mavs with the addition of Clay. You know what I'm saying? If Lucas stayed, he had a couple of games, he been injured or whatever, but he stayed healthy. Gotta watch out for them. The Warriors, like always. Um, the West is tough. The West is like that was last year though. That wasn't last year. I wasn't a believer. That was last year. Last year I wasn't a believer. But this year they got my attention. They're a team on the rise. They're a team that can, to me, dethrone anybody in the league, dethrone any team that has the top stars on a squad. Um, it's just that can they keep that core that they have? Remember when they first had a core, they had Kevin Durant, Russell, and James Harden, Ibaka, but they didn't want to pay nobody. Thing is, can OKC keep Shea? Can they keep um I forget his name. You know what I'm talking about. The center. You know what? How can they keep the core together? You know what I'm saying? Will they be able to pay them when it's time to pay them? So that's another thing. John Morant. Oh yeah. John Morant stay healthy, Memphis can be dangerous team. I said earlier about the Mavericks. If they stay healthy, they can be dangerous. Who else? Um, what team? The team that really shot me that I thought was gonna make another step was the Kings. They've been falling. I thought picking up DeMar DeRozan would really help them, but they've been struggling as of late. I don't see them you know really stepping it up. But that West is gonna be like stacked. It's gonna be stacked. Heading over to the East, um, I still got. I was gonna say I still got the Bucks, but I don't know. The Bucks just give me that weird vibe about them, bro. Yeah, I don't know why the Kings struggling. I don't know why they struggling. They was good last year. They were like what the fourth or fifth seed last year. Yeah, they were like fourth or fifth seed. Um, but over to the East, yeah, Bucks. Uh, yeah, you was in here early. Also, I already ramped about the Heat already. I already told them what they need to do with the Heat. Um, I repeat myself about that, but they need they need to overhaul that team. To me, same thing, like the same thing with the Lakers. They trying to put a big band-aid over something that the band-aid can't cover, and the Heat need to like overhaul that team. Start from the top, like Pat Riley might need to go. He getting too old for that. Bucks. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the Bucks either. I don't, I don't think maybe superstars can't match. And then perfect example with the Suns. We thought that they're gonna be dominant, but they wasn't when they got Bradley Beal. They was like worse. They was worse when they had. They was better when they had Chris Paul on the squad on the with the Suns. So I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with Giannis and Damian. And oh yeah, they won a championship already. So you heard Giannis. They won a championship already early in the season. So he got his title already. Ah, Dame and them already won their championship already. Them boys already won. Um, yeah, Bucks. Same thing with the 76ers. If they can stay healthy, um, they could be a dominant force. Who else? Who else? Who else is over there? Who else I was thinking? Tip my tongue. No, not the Bulls. Bulls is another team. I think they need to blow that up. They need to blow that team up. Meaning they did Zach Levine heard in trade talks. Just let Zach go. If I was the Bulls, blow that squad up, trade Zach Levine for something. You know what I'm saying? Get something back for him. That team just need to be blowed up. You already traded DeRozan. You traded you still got Alonzo Ball. Zach Levine just needs to you gotta trade him for something. You got Vujovic, the center. I think just need to blow it up, refresh, redo everything. You know what I'm saying? And rebuild that team. Zach's getting into that age where he's not that high. He's still a high flyer, but I don't see him as a top high flyer like he was back in his early days. But blow that team up. Cavaliers doing a great. They doing excellent this season. Um, that's another team that shocked me. I would think like I see them as a 6 or 7 seed, but they literally at the top of the division. Being a dominant force, Donovan Mitchell playing like a prime Dwayne Wade. Um, you got the role players kicking in, they helping out. So Cavs is like the OKC of last year. I'm putting it like that. Cavs is like the OKC of last year. Um, who else on the East? Go back to the 76ers. They need to I don't know. I think Joel ran this course with the 76ers. I think if they don't get nothing done, um, if Joel and them don't get nothing done, they gotta blow that team up. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Like you said, that's what I was just saying earlier. I need to wait till when they get in playoff time and playoff mode to see if who's gonna be dominant. Like who's really gonna take it over. Beginning of the season, anybody can have they up 10 games, they over 500, but let's wait till like the last 2 weeks of the NBA season heading into the playoffs and see who gonna be healthy and gonna be ready to play. But it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Oh, and back to the West. I was saying about the Clippers. Them boys playing ball too without Kawhi. So I'm just saying now. Hey, maybe Bomber, what's the owner name? Bomber? Bomber? Jeffrey Bomber or something like that. Whatever his name is. You might want to think to trade Kawhi, get some pieces for Kawhi. You know what I'm saying? You might not need them. I'm just saying. Yeah, I think Joel Philly they ran a course. I think Joel needs to be traded. Trade him for. You might have to go young. It depends on what they do this season. If they say they get to like the Eastern Conference and let's say they lose in 6 or something, I'll say running back. But if he lose like let's say first round in the playoffs, they get swept or something, he has to be traded. Because I think he ran his course. Philly, I think, fumbled with all those draft picks. You had how can you say that Philly fumbled with all the draft picks? Because most of them, like Nerlens Noel, they thought he was going to be a dominant big, which he was mediocre. Markelle Fultz wasn't living up to the expectations in the beginning that they wanted him to live up to. Ben Simmons has been, he was dominant in the first 2 seasons, and then now he's written off. So do we give the L to yeah, we gotta get the L to Philly. Even though they had all the draft picks, they had drafted the good players that played good in college, but didn't meet up to the NBA expectations. Only one that did meet up to it was Joel. You know what I'm saying? They got PG. And that was another thing. The Clippers had PG and they didn't really do nothing with him. So we'll see. We'll see. You got LaMelo Ball. He doing his thing in Charlotte. Yeah. Basically, I think I'm trying to think about Charlotte. Do I think they need to trade him? LaMelo? I think they could build around him. The Charlotte team build around LaMelo, try to get some decent pieces with him. I think that team can make a run. They can make a run in the East. East to me is like anybody can make a run. You get a couple of pieces, the East, anybody can be a top team in the East. Look at the Cavaliers. Got a couple of pieces. They one of the top teams in the East. East is not like the West where it's like you got your 6 dominant teams at the top, and you're like, dang, the East is just wide open. East is like, okay, we got 1 or 2. You probably got 1 or 2 teams that's like, they top. They've been top for a couple of years. After that, it's like in between. So you got, you know what I'm saying? You got the Magic. You got, I think the only team that really trash is Washington. Chicago is like the 8th seed. Who else? Who else you got? Boston, you could put them there as a top tier team. Boston. And all the other 2 teams, the Bucks and Philly, even though they got 2 superstar players, they ain't playing up the par. Another team I'm talking about, the Pelicans. Ooh. Should they trade Zion or keep him? Because New Orleans has an option ahead of the deadline, so they got to pick. Should we trade Zion or should we just keep him and run the course with him and see what we can do with him? I'm gonna say, ooh, and then you got Bi too. That's gonna be tough. I don't know. I think New Orleans need to just go ahead and blow that up, trade him. Um, might have just trade him for draft picks. Get higher draft and seeding because you're playing terrible. You got Brandon Ingram. He's a good. You will get something good out of him. Zion. Anybody will take Zion. I'm telling you right now. You know what I'm saying? The right team come around and offer you something good. You're gonna take that. But I think that team need to be blown up. Looking at my phone right now, the conferences. Oh, I forgot about New York, 23-10. Picked up Cat. I think even though that team was good without Cat, they even made them better. So and watch it for that team. The Magic, another team that top, but you, I got to see what they do in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They played Cleveland last year in the playoffs and they lost first round, but I got to see, can they go deep in the playoffs? Milwaukee lingering around at 17-14, they the fifth seed. Atlanta 18-15. I did hear a lot of a little stuff about should they trade Trae Young or what can you do to get help for Trae Young. I think you need to get help for him because he's a good talented point guard that can give you 30, snap of your fingers. He gonna give you like 25 to 30 points off rip almost every game with 8 assists, 9 assists a game. So I think they need to put the two teams I think is hard to get star players is probably Orlando, Miami, and the Pace. I mean, sorry, Orlando, Atlanta, and Indiana. It's like those teams. It's hard to get them another superstar player, even if they don't have one, at least one superstar player. Hard to get them, but I can see them, doing something. At least try to get, if not another superstar or a nice role player, a nice community player to trade. I already talked about the Heat earlier on the live. If you missed it, Jimmy, just trade Jimmy. I think trade Jimmy, build your team around Tyler and Bam, add more pieces around them. Those are two core pieces on that team. They're still young. They still got a lot of time ahead of them. Build them as your two cores. Chicago need to blow that whole team up. Trade Zach LaVine, get some draft picks. Cody, trade might have to trade Lonzo Ball. Let him get back healthy. For Detroit playing a lot better, 14-18 this year. They got a better record than Philly, so they on the right track of getting back to being a decent team. Philly, I know they was that bad. I'm looking at their record, 13-17. You got Joel. Like I said, if they don't make the playoffs this year, or make a run, I think, it's time to trade Joel. Same thing with BG. It was a good signing by Philly, but it hasn't done you nothing. You're like 4 or 5 games under 500. Looking outside of the playoff. So, and then you got Charlotte, which is they playing terrible. You probably gonna, if you want to keep LaMelo, get him some more help, get more pieces around him. Toronto, same thing. You would probably rebuild. That's another team that you can't really capture a superstar player. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to play in Toronto. Washington just another terrible franchise. You got Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole. I think they the superstars of that team. You know what I'm saying? I think if anything, probably have to trade them, get some draft pieces, get back to building your team through the draft. That's basically it. Run down on the Western Conference now. We got their standings. OKC 27-5, they number one seed. I said they yeah, trash. They just trash, terrible. OKC they've been doing it since last year. Dominant, playing good. They 27-5. Grizzlies, they coming at number 2 seed, doing they doing a great job, keeping up what they did last year. Without Ja, now they got Ja back. So let's see if they can make a run. Team that's shocking me right now, number 3, is Houston Rockets, 21-11. It was a shock. I ain't think it would be that high as well. I thought it would be like fighting in that playoff bracket between 7 and 10, trying to get a playoff spot. But they've been doing a good job. Dallas 20-13, added Klay Thompson. Denver, who fell, usually would have been in that top 3 spot. They don't fell to number 5, 18-13, but they still could be a deadly team. You got to watch out for them. Lakers also at 18-13. I was talking about the Lakers earlier about where they need to build. They traded Russell basically for nobody to back to Brooklyn. I think Russell to me was your third option. I'm gonna say he was like third or fourth, probably either a little bit above Austin Reeves or under him. But they did a terrible job trading him. I think they could have got more for him. More trade pieces. Clippers 17-19-14. James Harden holding that team down. Hopefully get to see Kawhi Leonard get back. We'll see. But if I was the owner of the Clippers, I think just go ahead and trade him. You know what I'm saying? Get something out of him. With these superstars that haven't played, I think you can get something out of them. Kawhi, you probably get you probably don't want no draft picks right away, but you probably can get decent players to replace him. These players that will play in the game. This man I don't even think he played one game. I don't remember him being on the scorecard. You know what I'm saying? But James Harden, he holding the team down. Got Minnesota, which I think they fell a little bit. Same thing. I think Rudy might be out of the. Him and Julius Randle is not a match made in heaven. You know what I'm saying? You got 2 people that basically Julius can shoot, but not like Cat. He can't shoot like Cat when Cat was on the scene. He can hit the midi, but how much space are you opening up in the paint? You're rarely opening it up, especially with Rudy sitting there. Rudy can't shoot. So, but they 2 games over 5. They holding the AFC. San Antonio. That's another team that, coming up on the rise. They won game over 500 though, but still they up there. Got Chris Paul. Victor finally gets a point guard that can pass him the ball. He ain't got to worry about bringing the ball up. He ain't got to worry about somebody else saying, I can pass you the ball like they did last year. They want to pass it to him. You know what I'm saying? Now he got a real point guard that's going to feed him the ball. Golden State 16-16. They trying to fight their way back up. They always going to be in that conversation of trying to make the playoffs. Always going to be them. They in the conversation trying to trade for Jimmy Butler. Like I said, I can see them getting Jimmy, probably trading Andrew Wiggins to the Heat, and some cash considerations, maybe a draft pick, second, third round draft pick for with Andrew Wiggins to the Heat, or they probably add a third team to complement the draft. So Golden State holding on. Phoenix still Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and you're 15-16. Like, come on. 15-16 with that roster. You had a better team when you had Chris Paul on the team. Bradley Beal is if right now, yeah, I would have said Bradley Beal with Chris Paul right now because I know Bradley Beal gonna give me buckets. But that team, you had a better team with Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. Like, come on, like three superstar players that basically can be the main focal point on that team by themselves, and you're only 15-16. That's terrible. Kings, they was doing good last year. They got DeMar DeRozan. They falling off 14-19. Portland, we already know they ain't doing that. They 11-21. They ain't really got nobody. They got I'm about to say Greg Oden. What's the center that came to the Suns? They got him, but they still need more help. They're a young team as well. Utah Jazz. That's another team you can look at that they can't get a superstar player. They terrible. 7-24. And last but not least, the Pelicans 5-28. If I was the Pelicans, you got CJ McCollum, BI, and Zion, and you're 5-28. Yes, injuries. We know Zion injury prone. BI was injured a couple of games. CJ is getting older. I think you need to blow that team up, trade them, and go back to. Pelicans have been rebuilding since forever because they had them Cousins and AD and blew them up, traded them boys, drafted Zion, got back in playoff contention. Then Zion get hurt. Add BI. They added Lonzo. When Lakers traded for AD, they had a young, talented core. Made the playoffs. Then got rid of Zoe. Kept BI. Zion been hurt again. Like, just blow it up. You can get good value for trading Zion, good value for BI. Just blow it. You know what I'm saying? Just let them go. You know, the Pelicans, that's another team that probably can't get a free agent superstar to come to their squad, but at least build it up like you did before. You drafted AD, you had got Cousins, then you traded them for pieces. Then you had got Zion, BI, Lonzo. Traded Lonzo, but you was able to keep BI and Zion, made the playoffs, and now you barely got 8 wins. Like, some teams, I think, just got to look at it and say, you know, we can't hold on any longer. You know what? Let's just blow it up. Just blow it up. But, you know what I'm saying? Thanks for coming out here on the live with your boy. Wanted to come on here. You know, do a little breakdown of all the sports of the 2024 year, capping it off. 2025, like I said, try to do some more recording, bring more content. I'm probably do some more lives. You know what I'm saying? Build it up from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna also have some special guests hopefully coming to in the beginning of the new year. You know what I'm saying? Special guest host with me. We're gonna make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We're gonna talk about the sports. Also gonna break down NFL playoffs, NBA playoffs. We're gonna give Super Bowl predictions. So stay tuned. More content to come. Also, guys, hit that like, subscribe, share button, and I'm out.